You're welcome again. Now, I want us to understand something. Speed is possible when you have the adequate knowledge. And I've told you the kind of knowledge you have to get to. The essence of us sharing this is for you to stir you up. Remember, that's what we say as our objective to stir you up to go study more for yourself and then equip yourself with the right knowledge in peculiarity to your own dreams. Are we together here? Now, we started with a scripture, Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 11. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Jeremiah, what did you see? And I answered, I saw a rod of an almond tree. Then God said unto Jeremiah, you have well seen, for I hasten my word to perform it. You have well seen. That is to say, what you see determines the kind of speed you enjoy. If you see greatness, you enjoy speed towards greatness. If you see more money in your account, you enjoy speed towards that. Now, the third key I want to share with us here is the key of who you associate with. Now, if you look at that scripture in Jeremiah, you see that God was also instructing Jeremiah he should not be afraid of what these people are afraid of, and he should not join himself to them, but he should watch on him. That is to say, the place of association. Who you associate yourself with determines the kind of speed you enjoy. Now, we saw a scripture in Proverbs 27, verse 17. It said, iron sharpeneth an iron. That is to say, the kind of association you make determines the kind of what you take out of life. Remember, if your power of sight must be developed, you must sharpen it with those that have seen ahead of you or those that are making effort to see. Do you get it now? Look at what we are doing here. How to develop the power of sight. That's what we are working on, right? And if you must do that, you need humans that have seen ahead of you to go together with them. So I have this written down. If your four associates are mediocres and blind, definitely you'll be the fifth one. Yes, you'll be the fifth blind or fifth mediocre person among them. But if you don't want that to be so, carefully select your associates. Carefully select those you work with. Carefully, because who you relate with matters what relates to you. Who you relate to matters to what relates to you. So if you want speed to relate to you, relate with people that enjoy speed. Relate with people that have developed their power of sight. Are we together here? One of the days I visit one of my mentors in Otta, and the conversation we had, few minutes conversation we had, and almost 60-minute conversation we had. I left his office with a renewed mindset. I could see far. I no longer see myself as a mediocre. I no longer see myself as someone that you can intimidate. Why? I sat with someone that has developed the power of sight and he's still working on his power of sight. He could see beyond. And he said something to me. He said, listen to me, young man. You don't celebrate your birthday as if, okay, let's say, for example, I am 30, and but that's not my real age anyway. And next year I'm celebrating 31. No. He said we should be counting it down. Can you see that 120 God promised you? So instead of to say I'm celebrating 31, you say 89 more years to go. Come on. He saw something. It revolutionized my mind. I was saying, what? If he could say it this way, what is it he has seen? So I dived back to the scriptures. I started searching on longevity. And people, I can tell you the truth. I can still see myself. Now, the dimension I'm seeing is that, watch out. You still see this face in the next 100 years without wrinkle. You think I'm making a joke out of it? Yes, I have seen how it happens. I have seen what you could do. See, God is versatile. If you can have access to what God has for you and see yourself in that, I'm telling you the truth. You see, now this is what happened. I sat with my mentor for less than 1 hour. That should be 58 minutes or thereabout. And my mindset changed. So, who do you associate with? Who are your friends? When you relate with men and humans, their eyes can see for you. When you relate with humans, their eyes can see for you. Is either you leverage on their power of sight, or they help you see. So either of the way, you are building yourself. Right? Now, the number 4 key I want us to see is the place of exposure. The place of exposure. Please follow me carefully. What you expose yourself to determines how you excel in life. What you expose yourself to determines how you excel or stagnate in life. What are you exposing yourself to? Are you exposing yourself to the informations that are available that guarantees speed, that can build your sight into the future? Look at Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is no longer alive, but he was able to see what we are using today. The iPhones, the iPads we are using today. He was able to see that you can collapse the music into phone and have an iPhone songs, and they are there. So now look at it now. If you have an iPod, it's no longer in bulk because everything is in phone. It was his brainchild. He saw the future. So you see, what you expose yourself to, who you expose yourself to, determines how your sight will be built. I'm telling you the truth. Now, one thing I want you to, I'm going to be talking on how you can expose the 2 factors you must expose yourself to. Among other factors, we are talking about 2. The first factor here is the factor of light. Now, Jesus said in his word, which I believe with everything in me, in Matthew 5:14, he said, "You are the light of the world." I believe that. In John chapter 8, Jesus said he is the light of the world. I believe the truth. When he was leaving the earth, he relinquished, allow me to use that word, he relinquished. He gave up his rights, his privileges, his power to you and I to officiate the earth, to manage the earth. If that is so, who are you? Have you really discovered who you are? And the best way to discover it is to look into the perfect law of liberty. According to James chapter 1 from verse 22 to 25. Look into the perfect law of liberty. That's why if you look at 2 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 18, it said, as we behold him in a glass, we are changed. We are transformed from glory to glory. That is how to build this power of sight. If you want your power of sight to be built, you must expose yourself to the light of what God said concerning you. If you don't know it is in you, there is no how you will enjoy speed. So you must first of all see what God is saying concerning you. Place of exposure to light. Expose yourself to light of what God said concerning you. That is your real identity. You keep beholding what the manual has said about you. In no time, you begin to see what the manual has said concerning you. Before you know it, bam, the strength of your sight is built. Yes, I'm so sure of what I'm telling you. Yes. Then the 2 place you must expose yourself is to the right environment. Hey, environment matters. Nobody should deceive you that environment doesn't matter. It matters. Now, I'll give you some examples that environment matter. I'll talk to you about the person I call my father, my spiritual father, Bishop David Oyedepo. Covenant University was given birth to after his visit to Orarova University. He said this can happen anywhere. Now, when he visited there had been a mandate of education upon his life. But when he visited, he saw the magnificent act of God. He was exposed to that, and his power of sight was developed. And at his return, he went to God and secured the timing when it should happen. And today we have Covenant University, we have Landmark University, and the stream of other educational arms, Faith Academy, Kingdom Model Heritage Schools. What was it? He saw his mentor did it. God did it through him. He developed his own sight with that exposure. Now, I'll give you another example. With my little life, we had a visit. We visited, he called for us. Bishop David Oyedepo called for us. We went, and after that, we heard there was an instruction that he should move every of his invitees, those he invited to see him there in Canaan, to go see the Ark project. After I saw the Ark project, I videoed it. I came out, I asked one question. Since God is the one doing this, God can do it through me or through any other person. But I've been exposed to the possibilities that God can finance any budget, provided it is his will and his plan. You see, exposure. So, and you must desire that. Now, there is something I also want us to see here. There is a man I also want to mention his name here, T.D. Jakes. Bishop T.D. Jakes said a story that while they were growing up, they didn't come from that poor family, but their background was just average. He said his parents always take them to the barricade of the airport, and him and his brother they will lie down and they will keep watching the aeroplane taking off and landing. And that exposed him to a better life. Do you know what? He made up his mind that day. He will fly all his life. And he has been flying. Nobody here on earth will say that Bishop T.D. Jakes, in one way or the other, have not been a blessing to him. So you see, the exposure to the environment built his side. Built his side. So who or what you are exposed to is what makes you to excel or to be stagnated. Thank you for watching. Please stay tuned and join for the next. I'm going to be still showing you two more keys on how to partner with a person that knows tomorrow. Yes. And how to practice to develop this power of sight. Thank you. See you in the next episode. God bless.